I'm Paulina Leiser, producer of Focus Today. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check our other videos at theDove.us.
Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and what a delight to have back with us today Michael Daugherty. He's senior writer for Cyber Defense Magazine. He's a board member of Snoop Wall. He's an author of some great books, and he's a good hawk. We like this guy. He's on our side. How you doing, Michael? Good to see you again.
How are you?
Good, good. You know, this whole Wikileaks thing's got everybody on edge. How does this happen? How does an organization or an individual steal so many emails? How does this work?
Well, you have people like Hillary Clinton that makes it easy. Really, in technology, we really started with software and all the great things it did. And the world forgot, without any bad intent, to think about safety. We didn't know what we were going to be getting ourselves into. And then when you have a lot of bad actors around the world and the internet eliminating really barriers or, boundaries, especially boundaries of countries, it's kind of like a kid in the candy store for a thief. So it's ironic to me, WikiLeaks came up because when they're stealing these things and hackers are looking, because that technology has given the individual an unbelievable amount of power, and as much power as many governments used to only have. So you see these people read these things and then they get outraged. And WikiLeaks came up as really a First Amendment on steroids type organization. They think of themselves as really a press organization, and their sources are the hackers. So WikiLeaks doesn't do hacking on its own, wink, wink, but they really don't. But they distribute all this information, and it seems to bother everyone in government power, whether you're a dictator or the head of a democracy or a republic.
Okay, so is anything secure? I mean, if Hillary never did have the home server, could these things been stopped?
It's a matter of degrees. We always want black and white answers, and the answer is no, it couldn't have been stopped. But could it have been slowed down? Could it have been much safer? Could it have been stopped as far as taken offline? Sure. You don't want to be fatalist to say it couldn't be stopped, but you don't want to make it easy. And certainly it takes a lot of money and a lot of concentration, a lot of skilled people, not politicians, but skilled technologists to protect things. And obviously that energy should go to the most important things, to national defense, protecting our commerce, those type of secrets. So Hillary could have kept that stuff way more secure than she did, and way more secure than you and I could have, or even Sony or Target. Wow. All right, so he's releasing stuff. I think he just released 1,200 within the hour, more emails. Here's the concern I have. WikiLeaks is certainly a player in the presidential campaign. There's no question about it. But maybe we're just past that now. We're not. It's just another batch, and oh boy, it's just more stuff. It's kind of getting, it's kind of like wah, 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 wah in the corner. And what it really is saying is being ignored. Do you agree? Well, over the last 72 hours, sure, because there's a lot of factors. What we call, they numb and dumb you. Okay, so so everything has to be more extreme. I mean, look at what's on TV today, which was on TV when I was a kid. Unbelievable stuff. But we're indifferent and numb to it. Same thing now with corruption. We have a debate where the one candidate said the other one's going to be in jail. I mean, what? So you go back and look at the Reagan-Carter debate, you're like, oh, what a civil time. So there is that issue. But what's amazing about this is look who we're relying on for our information. Look how asleep the mainstream media is. Look how politicized. Look how we have to not really look at our own hearts and souls of what's going on. We can't believe we're seeing with these mainstream media people, because they're choosing what to tell us. The silence is as big a deal as what's coming out of WikiLeaks. So, I mean, Assange has set it up. He says he's got big stuff. As soon as this sanctimonious fall moral outrage from the left over what Donald Trump did, because I don't think you and I are surprised by any of that. And unfortunately, what we have is a tie ball game on immoral behavior, which I don't like, but these are my only choices left. So Assange has a challenge for himself to pierce through. But, he also has the European press. And Snowden went to Europe to disclose this for a reason. And that was because the U.S. press wouldn't do anything. So I think it'll get out sooner or later. And I think this will calm down. Well, once the shock fades, I think you'll see Trump kind of tighten things up again.
All right. Well, you make a great point there. Do you think there is a bomb coming yet to fall?
I do. I think I just don't know how numb we are to what it says. I mean, he's attacking John Podesta now. He's attacking her circle right now. So this is a guy that has gotten his power from being very credible what he says he's going to do. And they've tried to imprison him, and they have essentially imprisoned him as much as they could because he's living in the Ecuadorian embassy in London for 4 years now. That being said, they can't smash this cockroach in their mind. And he knows this is a really, really big fight personally between Hillary Clinton and Assange and with the world's elite. And this is where you get cronies like, look, Paul Ryan did this weekend. You get insiders that just make strange bedfellows when it comes to having the political establishment overturned. And that's what's going on here.
All right. There's a part of this, Michael, I really asking your help to understand. We broadcasters at the first of the year nationwide were screaming and hollering to Congress, don't take control of the internet. They did it anyway, and a lot of our Republican friends in the House and the Senate voted for it. Then the president now threatens to turn it over to an international body, and he did it. And we broadcasters were screaming and hollering again. It just doesn't get any traction. What have we done to ourselves by turning the control of the United States internet over to an international body such as the UN?
Well, it's bad enough that we don't know the answer to that question before we do it. And I think that's where we are, and that's the problem. And that's the sneaky tactic. What you keep everything hidden, slide it through, then the objections. It's kind of like getting a rejection of a court case from a judge who won't say why. Obama snuck this through in August. Congress is out of session. Everyone's talking about the presidential election. There's no real clarity. That's the problem, is you're risking access to this information and some influence over it to bad guys. And the internet is the First Amendment on steroids. It is the world's power. And we take that for granted in this country. But if you remember Obama turning his head away from those people in Tehran the first term, when they held their phones up and they were showing the world, that hasn't happened again. What do you think happened to those people? That's a type of silent stealth tentacles that is the concern, is these people are going to use that control to even impact policy for negative ends. And the problem is it sounds like we're overreacting, and that's the problem, because we're not getting enough information to know who and who later. And that's how they do it. That's how they trick you. And then they make you act like, they point to you like you're screaming too loudly.
So it's a case we have to pass it to find out what's in it?
It's to work well for the left. And that is a great way to put it. And then they try to make you look like you're overreactive. And then you can't get the genie back in the bottle when it's out, and that's the problem.
My concern is obviously First Amendment rights. My concern is religious freedom, and my concern is online commerce will eventually be taxed. And where will that money go? To the UN?
Well, everything's possible in the name of fair. And so what happens is, that's what they do. Oh, we just want to be fair. We just want to be diplomatic. I'm like, what world are you in? Everyone isn't nice. Everyone isn't, religious freedom is the same as the First Amendment. It is freedom of thought and discussion. I mean, what is all this going on? And they, we have to wake up as a populace to this. We've got to stop thinking that the government in the United States right now, especially in Washington, they think of themselves as our master, folks, and we've allowed that to happen. This is another example. And these things, your rights, they evaporate slowly like an ice cube. They don't just, it's not like a light bulb on and off. And that's why, we got to start screaming about this.
In spite of all the craziness this past weekend and the 48 hours of Trump's rough go, and then he comes through the debate, I think he reset himself back into the position. We're only 4 weeks out from today. We're 100 days out from getting Obama out of the White House from today. Do you think there's enough time for him to recover?
Yes, because her loyalty is very soft. And if you observe the collective temper tantrum of the elite, and if Trump does his job correctly and just encapsulate this as, look at this. Look at who's in the team. Look at the red herrings. Look at the temper tantrums. Look at this false sanctimonious outrage. If he and his surrogates get on board and do that, the irony is it could pendulum back. And that's why it's so important for Assange to give something to sink their teeth into, to point out even greater hypocrisy. I mean, they win if they try to make it look like he's a sinner and I'm not. We're all sinners. Hate to break. So, and he is too. Now, I'm not trying that, and right, yeah, love the sinner, but hate the sin. And we've got to move past this and show these hypocrites, because look what else they'll do. But they do it in silence. They do it in stealth. They do it, and they'll say anything. And that's what we have to turn around.
Well, the pushback against the establishment nationwide is healthy. Doesn't surprise me what Ryan did yesterday, and I think it will backfire.
I do too. That was just a chicken political move again. I mean, the going's getting really tough here. If you're conservative, what have we been through? I mean, who would have thought how this mountain would be this steep? One thing after, I keep thinking to myself, if Cruz was there, we'd be up by 30. But I guess nothing's easy.
Well, Michael, you're a delight. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, The Devil Inside the Beltway is his website. That's also the title of his premiere book. You need to get a copy of that. Michael Daugherty's with us, senior writer for Cyber Defense Magazine. And again, go to his website, The Devil Inside the Beltway. Thanks, buddy, for what you do. Let's stay in touch and reconnect, okay?
Great talking to you. Thanks a lot, Perry.
God bless. All right, we'll be right back.